Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of JavaLavaCraft, and in last episode we started work on our most ambitious project ever, the wall, the Great Wall. It is pretty intense, and as you can see we've actually completed the entire thing around the entire base. Well, the wall's far from complete, but we got the first side of the wall done, and we started work on the second side, which obviously we have a lot of work to do on. But in between episodes, we started changing up the shape of the area that our mega farm is in with some red wool, because we don't want that area to look so square. So we spent some time terraforming and getting this area ready to dig out. It is going to be a massive quarry, and we can't really use TNT dupers because, well, all of our redstone is right next to it, and that might be a recipe for disaster. Well, we placed quite a few blocks in between episodes, as you can see, but while we were digging out our new shape of our quarry, we were immediately repurposing all of the stone and turning it into stone bricks, and then going to build up the wall and just kind of repeat it over and over and over again. I think we're actually going to get quite a bit more stone bricks out of this quarry than we're actually going to need, because as you can see, we really only took down a couple levels of the stone so far. We did run into a few caves and stuff like that, so that was fun, but for the most part, it's just stone, diorite, andesite, granite, dirt, all that kind of stuff that we're getting out of this project here. When we get down to the bottom, we might find some diamonds, but I'm really not expecting too many. We would be pretty lucky to find even just half a stack. So that would be really cool. But the entire time we were digging out this quarry, we had our entire mega farm loaded. And as you know from last episode, our wool farm is highly efficient. And we actually ran into, well, a little bit of a problem. Our wool was being produced so quickly that it was backing up all of the hoppers. That's right, it backed up hundreds of hoppers, which is not good when there's also a bunch of different kinds of items being filtered through those same hoppers. So we didn't want to sacrifice our cactus, melon, pumpkin, kelp block, gunpowder, and iron, so we had to do a little bit of redirection in that area. So I'm going to show that to you guys right now. It was definitely a bit of work, but I think it will pay off in the end, and I'm pretty excited with the sheer amount of wool that we're getting. Alright guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that progress update, and as I promised, it is time to show you guys off the new storage area for our wool. As you can see, we have a few more chests over here. Just a few. Anyways, I think this should be plenty. Some of them are filling up quite quickly. I think this one here is very full, and I think our yellow wool is very full as well. It's pretty random. Oh wow, yeah, that's really full. So I think there's 16 double chests of wool here for each color, and it's kind of disorienting almost. Anyways, we put some item filters in there, and as you can probably hear it clicking away, we put an auto dropper into a bubble stream, and it's basically just feeding up into a line of hoppers. Now, the problem with this is this auto dropper can only obviously move one item at a time, and it doesn't go very quickly, so we do have a bit of a backup still, but we, like I said, redirected it. So if you follow this line of hoppers, it does come from the main storage area, so any kind of excess items or things that need to get filtered out of the storage system, so say like a spider dies in our creeper farm somehow and we are not filtering string, it will also get fed through this line and end up in that little tiny chest down there, which we will expand a little bit, but I'm hoping we don't have too many items that we don't need in this farm. That would be nice. If you follow me over this way, I can show you guys the changes that we've made. As you know, we were filtering these hopper lines straight into the storage system, so instead of doing that, we've actually made their own independent line, and I've added plenty of double chests here full of wool. Well, I didn't fill them with wool, but I believe most of them are full. This is just basically to help not get so backed up. So as you can see, it stops right there, and all of these double chests are just completely full of random colors of wool. And yeah, it was a bit of a problem. So just imagine all of this wool that this farm is producing, filling up all these hopper lines. So they were completely jam-packed, and our melons and pumpkins were kind of stuck in this line, our kelp was kind of stuck in those lines over there, and so forth. So it's definitely not filtering fast enough, but I think once the shear's durability for each of the wool farm modules wear out, we can probably just leave it leave it turned off for a bit. Let's actually check that out right now, because we didn't enchant the shears, but we put a lot in there. So yeah, it looks like the bottom level is still got just shy, probably somewhere around an average of 65 durability left, and that should be true for this very bottom row. And then I bet you if we go up to the top, it's still got quite a bit of durability left. So eventually our double chests will get very full over there, and at that point I don't really know if we're ever going to need any more wool. Actually, the durability on these shears is pretty low as well. That's good. Normally I would say that's a problem, but we are producing way too much wool. And if we have 16 double chests full of each type of wool, I think that's enough wool. How about you? I don't know. I'm sure you agree. I don't know how much wool we're going to need. In fact, we don't even have a project planned for this wool as of right now, but if we ever need it, we have it. And I'm sure we're going to need some carpets or blah, 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 or whatever, or we can do some pixel art. I don't know yet. We'll find out. Wool. Find out. We haven't really updated too much over here other than that. We've kind of tried to condense our chest monster into this area right here, and we need to get that sorted out. We need to figure out a storage solution. So in probably the next episode, we're probably going to start working on our automatic item storage area for our base, which would be fun. Oh, I'm out of rockets. Just because it's going to take up the most room of our mega base, and I'd like to get the infrastructure kind of done before we start really decorating and figuring out how the entire setup of the base is going to be. And like I said in past episodes, most of the redstone for this area is actually going to be over here. We're not going to have farms in our actual mega base because this lag monster over here is laggy enough. So we don't need to be lagging out our whole world. We don't want it to crash or anything like that, and we want it to be playable while we are in the mega base. I know we've been playing in this area quite a bit, but in the future that's going to be a place we pretty much only go to AFK and collect resources, things like that. So that will be nice once that project is finished. Oh, by the way, before I continue, I'm going to show you kind of an aerial view of the area we're going to be digging out. So I talked about terraforming a little bit of the quarry. So it was a giant square, as you can see, you know, 3 out of the 4 sides are still square. It's going to be kind of more of an organic shape, and I have some cool ideas for that. It's going to be some kind of like volcanic eruption site, or like, I don't know, some kind of like magic well or something. I have an idea for the design. I haven't completely figured out the story of that design. That's something we'll be working on as we continue. So I'm thinking the project for today is to start a little bit of a design on the outer wall. I doubt we're going to get very much done, but I would like to start over on this corner here actually, which is going to require us to actually remove a little bit of this stone brick. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking that we can start on this side of the... Hey, I'm trying to show off my wall. Get out of here, iron baby. Alright, sorry about that. So rude, those baby zombies. So, I would like to get one of the 4 entrances into the Mega Base area done today, or at least started, so we kind of have an idea of the different blocks we're going to need for the other 3 and for the rest of the wall. I kind of have a rough idea of the way I want to set it up, but we're going to figure out most of that today. which would be nice. Yeah, so there's going to be some kind of bridge going over the lake, or the river here. I think will look pretty cool, and bridges are always fun. I don't do enough of them. And leading into this area here, which eventually is going to be some kind of little desert city. I would like to have like some kind of city all around this eventually in the future, but that is pretty far in the future for now. We have plenty of stuff to work on for right now. But I'm thinking that in the next couple episodes we will actually start this area, because we already have some stuff over here that we can start to decorate, like this pumpkin farm that we're never going to use for the most part, and just let it fill up with pumpkins in case something happens to our massively efficient one over there. I hope it doesn't, but it might. You never know. So I don't plan to get rid of it. We need to put a tower around this ugly thing. This is our villager breeder. I went over in a couple episodes ago, and apparently iron golem farm. We don't have any way to kill the iron golems in this area, so there's really no reason that we need them. They're stuck in these blocks, and in fact, if they fall through to the bottom and get swept up in the water, that might be a pretty big issue for our villager breeder. As you can see, we plan to kind of put some plots down and build up some buildings in this area, so I think it will be nice to kind of break up this mega super nether base project thing with a little bit more friendly, sunny, you know, interesting builds over here, kind of a little town square and stuff. I don't know why that's there. Ignore the nether tree stuff. I think it is time to finally get started. I have to go collect some resources, and then we will be able to get on to this area right over here. So we've finished up resource gathering for our next big project, and it is time. We have a nice blank canvas in front of us right over there, and it is time to go ahead and get started with the build. And there you have it, guys. That is the basalt that we collected. Yep, we completely ran out. We're going to have to head back to the Nether and get that, but I think that can be saved for off camera. I'm very happy with how the build turned out, though. Obviously, we only finished the left side of the kind of basalt delta. We'll call it the Mega Delta, I guess. That would be cool. We have a lot of work to do on the right still, and over here is definitely not finished either. We're gonna build these pillars, these 4 pillars you saw at the end of that time lapse there, up a little bit higher, and then I have a super cool idea for them. We just have to get the materials for it first. So we're gonna have to save that for a future episode. Oh, that took a long time, and you may have seen in the time lapse there, I died right over here, and it wasn't pretty. So, fortunately, we got all of our gear back, so that's definitely a good thing. Up here, we have this cool little room that's going to continue a little bit. We're probably going to have to cover up that smooth stone up there. And as you can see in the middle here, there is 5 blocks of space that is visible down to the very bottom, and this is going to be our little diorite wishing well, so we can throw, you know, some offerings to the diorite and hopefully get some of our wishes granted. I thought that would be a cool idea. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what we're doing. Actually, what we're going to be doing in next episode is heading into the Nether and collecting some wither skeleton skulls and putting a few beacons down there. I think that will be super cool, and it's also why we left Sky Access. But for the next part of this build, which you guys will find out shortly, in the next episode probably, they're going to be used for something. So we'll have to wait to figure that out. I haven't completely finished the idea behind it. So if you go down the stairs, we just put a little decorative carpet. I don't know if it really makes sense. Why would you have a carpet? Maybe to wipe your feet before you go into this menacing looking area with the creeper head made of lava. Yeah, I don't know. But I thought it looked pretty cool, and that cyan carpet really matches those blue flames. It looks pretty good together. Unfortunately, we had to go with the regular lanterns going up the staircase. I mean, we probably would have had enough of a light level with this going all the way up, but down here definitely we had to use these lanterns, and I just thought it kind of looked weird to have like these and then the blue lanterns, at least for this project, because it's a little bit repetitive going all the way up, which I was worried about at first, but it's kind of growing on me. I like it so far, and as you can see, the blue nylium is slowly starting to creep out towards our desert village. I don't think it's going to get too much further than this, but I thought that was kind of a cool little idea. Maybe we'll put like a tree or something. I don't know yet. We'll have to figure that out. So now we can kind of get to see it at night. This is obviously providing plenty of light along the outer edge of the perimeter wall, which is also not finished. But that's, again, a project for another day. And the stairwell leading up to the central part of the entrance is definitely very well lit. Pretty happy with how that turned out. I don't know if we're going to be doing the exact same thing on every side, but this one turned out pretty good, so I'm definitely happy with it. I like the creeper head. It's a terrible angle to view it from. And then again on this side, so a little bit better of a view here. I think that looks pretty sweet. It kind of looks like a creeper altar. These are his little hands, I guess. I don't know. But he's mostly going to get covered up, I think, with some more stuff, or at least not be the main focus of this area, because there's still more that has to get added. But I think that might be all we have time for today. I appreciate you guys coming with me on this journey, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. It definitely helps out the channel quite a bit. And if you're excited to see even more content from the JavaLavaCraft world, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But appreciate you guys as always. Have a great night, and goodbye.